Hello, future Grant Windsor. Hello, black women in grants. How are you? Hello, come on in, replay viewers. We're waiting on our livers to get in here. I'll let TikTok do its thing. Get y'all in here. Hey, Miss Cleary. Hey, Love 32. Welcome, y'all. Come on in. Let's chat. Welcome to Black Women in Grants. Hey, dating. This is Black Women in Grants. Black Women in Grants is specifically for black women with for-profit small businesses, or those of you who know you want to start a business one day soon. And you can use the grant to help you get started or sustain a business you've already started, or scale that business to the next level. Come in and say hello. Hey y'all, I see you. Welcome. My name is Dr. AJ Austin. I've won over $1 million in grants and grant funded opportunities. Excited to be here with you today, share with you about what I know that I now use to help black women, for-profit, small business owners find, apply for, and win grants. I have a mentorship program over at blackwomeningrants.com where I do this for real. And so I want to share with you what I know. So come in and say hello. Let me make sure the right people are in the room. Say hey in the chat if you can hear me, or you can tap your phone screen. Watch the hearts flutter. That equals a like here on TikTok. Welcome in. Any black women, for-profit, small business owners in the house? Put me in the chat if that's you. Hey, Milk and Honey. Hey, Samantha. Hey, Latrell. Are you guys black women, for-profit, small business owners? Question mark. Let's chat. Hey, girl power. I love it. Welcome. Anyone have a business here that they're looking to win a grant for? Put me in the chat. Or if you have an idea for a business to one day get started and you're like, you know what, I think a grant would really help me, put me in the chat. Y'all talk to me. I love conversation. The more you talk, the more I can help you out, point you in the direction of some helpful resources for you. So this live is all about engagement. So if you are a black woman with a for-profit small business, you either started it or you got plans to start it, put me in the chat. Milk and Honey says me. Milk and Honey, what's your business? What do you do? Y'all can talk to me. This is a safe space for black women. We may have some non-black women in here, and they're simply here giving their support for black women. Thank y'all so much for being here, supporting black women. We can use all the support from you that we can get. We appreciate you. Anyone want to tell me what they do in their black woman-owned for-profit small business? Talk to me in the chat really quickly and let me know. What do you do in your business? What type of business do you have? Like the business that you want to win a grant for? Tell me about that business really quick in the chat, because there are grants available for your business. Some of them are not specific to the type of business that you have. And so you just have to know where to find them. I'm happy to walk you through how to do that, but y'all got to talk first. So before I give out any gems, honey, you're going to have to talk to me. It's the even exchange. Same him, man. Same him. So grants are free money that you don't have to pay back. They're not based on your credit. Hello, Vitals. You don't need like a co-signer. It's not based on your criminal history. You don't need any type of collateral. You don't have to give up any portion of your company. Yes, you can win grants as a for-profit small business. A lot of people think you got to be nonprofit. That's not true. Somebody asked me yesterday. She said, is this like the PPP loans? Girl, I just hollered. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Grants are not as scammy as I saw the PPP loans become. I don't know nothing about no PPP loan. I did not apply. It does not apply to me. But this is grants. It's free money that's gifted, given, and granted to your business. Again, you do not have to pay it back. So it's not a loan. It's not based on your credit. And yeah, this ain't something you got to be worried about getting. I heard one lady got like 9.5 years in prison. Ma'am, what is y'all doing with these people? So no, it's not the same, babes. Whole nother ball game. Free money, okay? Honest money, ethical money. You don't have to lie to get it, okay? There is money available for you in your business. Milk and Honey says, I don't know how to find grants in my city, and I don't know how to help you because you ain't told me what you do. I said, Milk and Honey, what is your business? I don't see your comment telling me what your business is, girl, so let me help you. Vitals has a mobile lab. Is that like the mobile blood work lab, phlebotomist? Let me know. What type of mobile lab is it? Y'all better talk to me. Tell me about your business. I ain't going to be on here that long, honey. So take a minute and tell me what you do in the chat. Because this is literally what a legit grant is going to ask you. They're going to say, describe your business. So now is your time to practice, especially if you have not applied for a grant before, or if you've never won a grant before. This is how you get on the fastest path to winning a grant, answering this basic question, being able to talk about what you do. So for example, when a grant asks me what I do, I help Black women with for-profit small businesses find, apply for, and win grants. Y'all see how that works? Very simple, very easy, very doable in the TikTok chat. So let's go. What y'all waiting on? Hello? Y'all always want to know, how do I win a grant? Where do I find a grant? Is there a grant for my business? No, because you don't even know how to talk about what you do. Don't get me started on my soapbox today. I was trying to come on here and be nice, but y'all like getting yelled at and stuff, so I might have to preach a little bit today. I ain't going to do it because that's going to run up my blood pressure. I don't want no high blood pressure. Queen is a designer of what? What do you design, Queen? Let me know. Now, keep in mind how y'all answer it. The Bible says, you shall know them by their fruit. One of my old coaches used to say, how they do anything is how they do everything. So if you on here being, what they call it? Non-specific. That's how you going to do on a grant application. And grants don't care enough to reach out to you and say, well, can you clarify what type of business you actually run and what you actually do? Hey, Coco Babe, welcome back. Good to see you, girl. They just going to skip you and go to the real winner of the grant. So I'm trying to help y'all. But how y'all answering these questions better not be how y'all answer them questions on them grant applications, honey, because they will find your competition who can talk very clearly about what she does in specific detail and get your money. Okay? Okay. Hello, California. Yay. Hello from Atlanta. Mobile lab that offers in-home or office blood work. Got it. Thank you for the explanation. So, as you guys are telling me what you do, tell me what you need a grant for. What do you need a grant for in your business? Like, why could you use a grant? What would you use grant funding for? Talk to me. Why should somebody write you a check for grants to help you start that business or keep that business alive? By the way, you don't need to hire a quote-unquote grant writer for the type of grants that we win in the for-profit space. We don't write grants, actually. That's for nonprofits. We actually apply for grants. And the application is usually about 1 page, but it's going to be all about your business. So that's why I say take up space. Use the space they give you in as much detail as possible to talk about your business, to talk about yourself, what you do, why you founded your company, who your company helps, etc. The more specific you can get using the space they provide, the higher your chances of winning that grant are. But again, they do not care enough to try to hunt you down and say, can you tell us in more detail what you do? We're still trying to understand your business. So there's that. We make hot sauces and marinades with a Caribbean twist. Love it. Queen does digital art, wall art, invitations, handbags, art. Katie, what does expansion look like for a licensed clinical social worker? And is that what you're using the grant for? So I'm trying to think. I wish I had like one specific way to explain this to y'all, because this happens every live. But try to come up with, in as many words as possible, how to talk about your business. Y'all know how, like, if you're talking with a friend via text, right? And you write them a long paragraph and they got unlimited, endless space to answer whatever your paragraph was about, and they just put, yeah. Don't that make you mad? That's how y'all answers be on these grant applications. So if a grant says, tell us how you will use the grant funds, and you say expansion. Girl, they don't know what that is. Tell us more. They say startup, Cocoa Bean. Start what up? Y'all better get Pacific like the ocean and talk more. So Zoe says, need a grant to scale and update manufacturing. I don't know what that means. What type of manufacturing? What are you scaling? I'm trying to think of how more basic I can make the question so that y'all can understand. And I'm not being funny. I really want to understand what you do. I know a lot of us as Black women, we're not used to having a safe space to talk about ourselves, our businesses, and ask for help and allow ourselves to be helped. But this is that space. I don't know how else to put it nicely, kindly, friendlier. This is all I got. So if I'm saying, tell me what you do, I really mean it. If I'm saying, what does that mean? Help me to understand what that means, because your real question is, how do I win a grant for this? I can't tell you how to win a grant for expansion if I don't know what you expanded. I can't tell you how to win a grant for startup if I don't know what you starting up. Y'all see what I'm saying? Y'all one word answers. Hello? Okay. That's if you want my help. Now, you can choose not to say a word. You can choose just to sit here and listen and let me help other people. That's on you. But over at blackwomeningrants.com, I really do this, y'all. I have a mentorship program where I literally walk with you through the grant application process, teaching you how to answer these questions in detail. And so when I jump on here on the TikToks live, I'm really on here helping, extending a little bit of my mentorship to you. Absolutely free. Now, you can come join us in my mentorship program if you would like. We do have a scholarship for you to participate. And so if you're serious about getting my help, head over to blackwomeningrants.com and come join us. But yeah, you're going to have to do a little bit more talking, okay, on them applications. Okay. I'm done for now preaching. So we are for profit and we have a business plan. I am proud of you, Zoe. Thank you for sharing that. Need a grant to scale and update manufacturing of your Caribbean-inspired marinades and hot sauces, right? See how I understand that? Because you were so clear, so specific. Tell me if I'm missing something now. Let me see what else we got. Coco, don't laugh. It ain't funny. I'm talking to you too. Katie says the cost and risk of having their own office space. What is that, Katie? I'm trying to follow the conversation. I said, Katie, what could you use a grant for as a licensed clinical social worker? And you said the cost and risk of having their own office space. Let me see if I missed the beginning of your answer, Katie. No, I don't see it. So I'm gonna move on, because y'all ain't gonna have my pressure up. Not the day I took my medication. Let me see. It was a 3-piece answer. You only read the last. I only see one part, girl. My bad. It ain't on here. Because I was like, what is you talking about? Sometimes TikTok don't show me everything. That's why I scroll back. Like, let me see what I missed. Because if it's a 3-piece, why I only got one piece? I got the drumette. Where the breast and the flat wing or something. I don't even know the real parts of chicken. But where Coco was laughing. Okay, I see Coco's laughter emoji. And then the only thing I see from you, Katie, is the cost and risk of having their own space. So try again. Let's see if TikTok will let it come through. You can come on the live with me too and talk. I'm a real person, a real human being, a Herman being. So I want to understand, because right now, y'all answers ain't making no sense, Jesus. I'm trying now. I'm trying to help you. But again, y'all even have my pressure up, y'all or TikTok on today. I don't even supposed to be on here. I'm supposed to be taking a nap somewhere. Anyway, let me know if you want to come on. Just send a invite and I'll bring you on the live. Anybody else want to try to tell me what you do in your business? Question mark. If you're new here, you can put new in the chat. You probably like, what did I just walk in on? Child, I'm trying to figure that out too. Hey, y'all. I'm Dr. AJ Austin, creator of BlackWomenInGrants.com, where we have, y'all, I just did our numbers today. The last 10 ladies that I've chatted with about their grant win that's in our mentorship program have won $250,000 within a 6-month time frame. I'm so excited for these ladies. Okay, so hold on. Let me figure this out. Okay, there we go. I see the invite request. TikTok is telling us Happy Easter. TikTok. Okay. Now, I don't know. Hold on. Let me see who this is first because... Okay, Katie sent the... Okay, that's Katie. I had to double check, girl, because TikTok trying to... I don't know what they doing. Hold on. Hey, Katie.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can. Now, you fill us in on the missing 2 pieces. Tell the people
Okay.
what
Yeah,
you
because
did.
it was a 3-part. It wouldn't let me put the whole thing in one section, so I had to break it up into 3. So
Girl, I only seen that one, so fill me in because I am loud. I'm conversion. Go ahead.
it's okay. So I run a telemental health therapy practice, and I'm looking to offer in-person services and offer space for other therapists in the area who would like office space but are not looking to take on the risk of having their own office.
Wait, say that part again.
Telemental health.
Telemental health. Telemental. I like it. Okay.
Yeah, telemental. It's
Telemental.
teletherapy, but it's mental health. So I just say telemental health.
Girl,
Telemental
that's a
therapy.
mouthful. That is a big word for Elmo. Telemental health. Because I want to say elemental P for some reason. Okay. Telemental health, which is mental health therapy.
Yes.
And what else am I missing?
So yeah, so it's mental health therapy. I'm actually licensed in 3 states, but I want to get a physical office space here locally so that I can provide therapy in person and also do things like groups and different offer like educational series, but then also offer office space for therapists in the area who want to do in-person therapy but do not want to take on the cost of having their own office space. So subletting by the
Okay.
hour, subletting by the day, half the day, the week, or however often they might need it.
And so your last answer, the cost and risk of having their own spaces, you're trying to help other therapists kind of minimize that.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So what you need a grant for?
To get the physical office space.
How much is it?
Oh, girl, I don't know. I haven't done that
Exactly.
part.
Exactly. Y'all be playing. Y'all
I haven't
be
done that part.
playing.
I'm just gonna get the money and then figure it out.
No, ma'am. That is not how this works. Oh my gosh, y'all need
I
me.
thought first you get the money, then you get the bitches. No, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. But I thought first you get the money and then you go get the stuff.
No, ma'am, absolutely not. Y'all are playing these people's face. No wonder. Okay, so have you ever applied for a grant?
Yes, I did. Like, when was that? Like a month or two ago.
And what
And
happened?
I put in there that
Vitals
I
was
wanted it
cracking up.
for website design. I wanted so because I want to have like an actual web page and not use the therapy directories. I wanted my own web page. I wanted the money, of course, to expand into brick and mortar, but I mean that was it. That's what I put.
And what happened?
I haven't heard from nobody.
Exactly, because you playing.
I haven't heard a thing.
Okay. And I see why. Look at y'all answers. And then you talk about I thought you get the money first and figure it out. Is that really what you thought? Or you
Yes,
just
I
saying?
really thought you get the money first and then you figure it out after that.
Okay. My brain is computing because I'm like, okay, I need to help
First I
y'all
get
more.
the
I didn't know
money and
this.
then when I get the money, then I could go and find the stuff. But if I ain't got the money, then
Oh, okay. So that ain't how that works. That's not how
no.
any of that works. You have
Well,
to have a budget. So if you say, I have a place in mind, do you want to rent the place? Do you want to buy the place? Do you want to build from the ground up? If so, how much is needed? You need a budget. So, for example, one of our mentees, her name is Tay. She's a swim instructor in New York, and she teaches little black and brown kids how not to drown. So right now she is renting and borrowing and partnering for pool space, but her ultimate vision is to have a $300,000 pool installed in her community. That's her
mhm.
budget. So she's doing the work now, like how you said, your Telemental P is online right now. But when you move, you need to have that budget in mind. So you know what you're working toward because you're not gonna find one grant for $300,000, but you might can win 30 grants for 10K and it's the same 300,000. So if I
Mhm.
did the math right, I think I did it right. But anyway, and Tay is on her way, so she's already been winning in increments of 5,000 here, 1,000 here, 500 here. So you have to know what you're working toward. It can't just be, I'll figure it out when I win it. They have to see the vision. So if you had to kind of guesstimate, how much would you say like your ultimate goal of grant funding is?
Um, maybe 150,000.
Okay.
Is that low though?
Only you can determine that because I don't know like what state you're gonna have the office in. I don't know what it's gonna take to get set up. Like I said, some people do like a renovation project. And if you're renovating an office space and that has suites, yeah, you're gonna need more money. But that's for you to go through the cost. You can't
Mhm.
guess. It's a great starting place, but now go do some research. Oh, we're gonna need this
Okay.
because we have people who want to build out like salon suites and co-working spaces and restaurants. So it just depends on how you want to use the funding. So that's what they mean when they say, what could you use our funding for? Why do you need a grant? That's why y'all can't say stuff like expansion. What you expanding? Especially if you don't know the cost of what you expand. So that's step one. So that's your homework.
Okay.
Ask me
I
a
can do that.
question.
Say it again.
Ask me a question. What question you got about what we talked about?
Well, none right now. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
So
That's a
yes.
good starting point. So I'll start with that, and then I'm gonna
Okay.
follow you and come back.
Yes, do that. That's part one of your
I'm
homework.
gonna
There's more to
follow you
come
and
though.
come back.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, girl.
Thank you. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come down now.
Okay. Bye. All right. Who else raised their hand to come on here? Vitals, was that you earlier? Said you wanted to come on? Let me know. Hello, Miyati Books. How are you? Good to see you. Hello, Michelle Hayward. How are you? You said TikTok has been taking over, girl, from day to day. I ain't even surprised no more. Just I'll know for sure, when I wake up and this app don't work. And then y'all can find us over on YouTube, child. I'm over it. Um, thank you for sharing. No, I hadn't heard anything. What else? Thank you for sharing. No, I hadn't heard anything. What What else? I'm about to fix me some tea while I'm on here chatting with y'all. Anybody else need help getting clear on like how to tell a grant what you're going to use their money for? How to tell a grant what you're going to use their money for? Right now, we're just talking about what you do in your business and what you would do with a grant. And I didn't know y'all was thinking, oh, I can figure that part out later. I thought everybody knew to start there. So it's not safe to assume. Y'all see what happens when you assume? So there's that. Anybody else want to come on and get a little coaching around what to tell a grant you're going to use their funding for? Speak now. Now is the time. You can send an invite to come join us as long as it's about grants, because that's all we're talking about today. Grants for Black women. Women. That's all we talking about. You can come hang out. If not, I can just answer some more frequently asked questions if you guys have them. So Katie has homework to go get her budget started. Anybody else thought that you could figure this out later and didn't know to have a budget going in? Yeah, I wanna help, but you gotta tell me. You gotta talk to me and say something. I'm having an Earl Grey latte that I hope is good. I'm trying to measure my portions by the spirit right now. KK says, for my business. What kind of business do you have, KK? Say have LLC. Already you need 50K. Tell me what type of business you have. Anybody else want to tell me about their business real quick? What do you do? You can put it in the chat. What do you do in the business that you're trying to win a grant for? What do you do in that business? Because you got a business. Either you want to start a business or you want to grow a business you've already started and you know a grant could help. Scrub nursing. Okay, help me. I know what a nurse is. I know what scrubs are, but I don't know what a scrub nurse is. So could you help me understand that? If I had $1 million check to write you, could you help me know what I'm writing the check for, Miss Scrub Nurse? So when you're explaining your business, if you've ever dealt with talking to a child, think about if it's just you and the child in a conversation. The baby's maybe 2 or 3, but they can talk. Good. I love when a baby can have a conversation. Real name. Here go your daddy real name. We're going to have some conversations, and then I'm going to go home and get the name. We're going to have some conversations, and then I'm going to go home and get the call. Like, why you? Yeah, I'm that auntie. But anyway, think about the baby that you have to give a message to, and it's just you and the baby talking. So you want her to understand right now. She's 2 or 3. She going to repeat everything you say, word for word, bar for bar. But all you can tell her is what you do in your business. What would you tell that 2 to 3-year-old that you do in your business? She got to go tell other people. You not going to be in the room, and all that baby got is what you told her. If you said, tell him I'm a scrub nurse, she don't know what that means. Just like her auntie nurse, she don't know what that means. Just like her auntie don't. That's me today. So help that baby with that message. Hey, Alicia. Guess what? I just made me some tea. It ain't hot, but I made it. It's Earl Grey latte, actually. So anyway, be Pacific. Like the ocean. When you're talking about what you do. So clear that a 2 or 3-year-old can run across the room, share that message with somebody else, and they understand like, oh, okay. So, one of my coaches used to say, be clear, not clever. So tell them NOP, Katie. It took me a minute to get it because my brain couldn't. I'm like, wait, what did she say? And you just kept talking. I was like, wait, we got to go to bed. So there's that. No, I don't have socks on my feet. It's actually hot in my home. It's like 72 degrees. I was like, do I need that air on today? So no, I don't have on socks. I am sitting, well, my feet are under the cover, so I'm pretty good on it. but I'm more hot than anything. It could be a hot flash now. You just never know. You just not know about me. So anyway, but other than that, I'm good. So far, so good, girl. Thank you for checking on me. Anybody else want to tell me what they do in their business and why you could use a grant? Let me know. And don't worry about me fussing. I do this from time to time. It's just the black woman in me. Y'all know how we do. But some of y'all be like, yeah, I like, you gotta hold me accountable. I need accountability. I need a kick in the pants. I need a little push, a little shove, a little tough love. That was a bar right there. Anybody else want to share? Y'all talk to me. So y'all, okay. I'm really trying to understand how y'all understand grants so that I can teach clearer and help more. An idea. Let me give you an example of a budget that may go deeper into what Katie and I were talking about. When it comes to a grant, saying what could you use a grant for, this could be the reason y'all haven't heard back from grants. Y'all haven't won yet. Y'all wondering, is it a scam? Can I do it? Do people really win this? Is this legit? Should I hire somebody? Listen, you still got to know how to talk about your business. How to talk about your business. So, think about, so there's a grant from, I forgot who it's from actually, but it's a financial grant from, I forgot who it's from actually, but it's a financial grant. And they had a grant, it was like $2,000. And they said, if you are a black woman in business and you want to help your community by hosting a workshop or teaching a training or having a special event, send us a Excel spreadsheet with all of the expenses on it for the cost of doing that event. They wanted everything. So let me give you an example. Let's say you rent a what do you call it? Like a boardroom, conference room at a hotel. How much is that? Do they require a deposit? How much is that? Any type of AV, audio visual, so like projectors, speakers, microphones, laptop hookups, how much is that? Do you need somebody on call to run that portion? That's a staff member. How much is that? That's the bigger stuff. Then you get down to, are you feeding the people while they're there? What about coffee, tea, water? Is it breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Are y'all gonna be there all day? How much is that? What else do you need? Dry erase board, flip chart. Well, y'all call it whiteboards. Worksheets printed out. Is it color, black and white? Books, workbooks, pens, pencils, markers. I'm going through the list, y'all. How much is that? Are they getting goodie bags? What's in the goodie bags? Water bottles, little company merch, t-shirts. Y'all see how this starts to add up? We well over 2K right now. But if you had your budget, you would know that your event, how exactly you'll use that 2K grant and how much more you have left to go apply to. So that's how that works, to give you an idea of the budgets. Okay. All right. Let's see. We got a request. I can't see who the request is coming from. As long as you are a black woman with a for-profit small business and you're seeking grants and you want to understand how to win those grants, that's all we're talking about, okay? So, there's that. At least they don't be agreeing that I be fussing. They know. Okay. Here we go. I think I did this right. Okay, tell us who you are and what you do. Hey, girl.
Hey, my name is Sigrid. I am the founder of Vitals and Veins LLC, a mobile lab here in Alabama. I service all of Alabama, and I am looking to win grant money to not secure a building, but to secure another or multiple vehicles for my vitals and veins business, because a lot of patients don't like for people to come in their home. So I would like a truck, not a truck, but like a van, where I can secure my phlebotomy chair, and mount all of my equipment, like my collection tubes, hubs, things of that nature.
I love it. I love the name. I totally get it now. Makes sense. You said you're starting in Alabama.
Yes.
Any excuse me, hold on, I'm choking on the antacid. Anyway, any reason you're starting in Alabama?
I live in Alabama.
Okay. Because I just saw a lady with the she's building out an app to help people in the healthcare industry in Alabama. And
Hmm.
her reasoning was I don't know if she would call it like the poverty rate, but the low income rate of underserved black women dying in birth and things like that. So
Yes.
I thought you may have like a reasoning behind that. Do you have any type of story like that that goes along with why?
So the reason why I started my business is because I had took care of my mom for years, until she passed away in 2016 of stage 4 lung cancer. So my niche is oncology.
Now, what is oncology? Help me.
That cancer, cancer and cancer
Okay.
research, um, cancer research, sickle cell. I have a daughter with the sickle cell trait. So yeah,
Mhm.
even when we go to St.
Got it.
Jude, I draw her blood. Then she doesn't want the nurses to touch her.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. So you want like you said not necessarily a truck, but like a sprinter van type vehicle.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Okay. And then you want to mount your equipment to the van or vehicle.
The
Okay. So
van, yes.
there, so have you ever tried to apply for a grant?
So I did a subscription with the other stars. Um,
Hmm.
and I applied for several grants and I did not hit anything. But they
Right.
wanted me to I guess put money into other people's businesses. And I was like, well, if I had it, I wouldn't be on here. you know, if I had money to put into other people's businesses, then I wouldn't be on here looking for funds to fund my business.
Yeah, do you mean like through application fees and stuff like that?
No, 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 no. It's I forget what it's called, but they like for you to um invest into other people's businesses. That's a part of the Galaxy of the Stars, or that has already won grant money for the Galaxy of the Stars.
Okay, I haven't seen that part of Galaxy. I'm in the community, but I haven't seen them do that. So I'm gonna look into that. Um, because some other grants will have like application fees, and sometimes they use those
Mhm.
fees to pull together for the grant money. So
Yes.
technically, it would be like you invested in somebody else, but you also could be the winner. Um, but for you, have you ever tried telling your story in the grants? Like, have you ever shared the part about your mom, the part about your daughter?
No,
Why not?
no, no. So for the longest, I thought it was irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? To an extent, I thought it was irrelevant for me to share that portion of my story. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That was the only thing I had.
What if I told you that that could be your secret to winning your next grant?
Hmm. I would believe you. I would believe you, and I would use it.
So the lady that I shared with you earlier, she pitched in front of like six people. She walked away with 175,000, but she was looking for venture capital or like investors in
Mm,
her idea. But she
mhm,
starts with her story. You gotta start with your why you do it, how
mhm,
you got into it. They call that your founder's story, who it's helping, kind
mhm,
of what inspired that idea, and also what sets you apart from other people who do what you do. So there are a lot of like mobile phlebotomists. There are a lot of drug testing companies that come on my lives, and everybody wants a grant for a similar style business to what you do. It's not exact, but They want the vans. They want the fleet of trucks. They want to be mobile. They want office spaces, things like that. Um, but for you, you would
Yeah.
have to stand out with your story behind why you do it. That's why the first thing I asked was why you're starting in Alabama. You could even go into the statistics about the healthcare industry there, why they need you in that area. Plus, you are from there. So you
Yeah.
have that hands-on experience, that lived experience. And so does your family with your daughter saying, I don't even want nobody else to touch me but my mama. Like, that's a blessing to have that type of like
Yeah.
in the healthcare industry because now it shows you can handle, you
And
know,
I'm
the kids and stuff like that.
yes. Yeah. Okay. 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 That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I have, even like I do the blood draws now, and I partnered with a few of the labs like Rupa Health or whatever. So I go to a lot of my patients' homes and I'll give them my business card and tell them, um, to leave me a Google review. And for the most part, it's good. I jumped to number one when searching mobile labs here in not Alabama, but here in Huntsville.
Hmm.
So, and that was just within a
Yeah.
year.
And so you already are building that credibility. I'm sure you have people who know you who do this service that wouldn't mind sharing like testimonials, and because some grants will ask you to also submit videos with your written applications. And so if
Hmm.
you have like pictures or testimonials, just screenshots of people saying thank you for what you do, how grateful they are for your service, showing that there's a need, because grants will ask you how you know there's a need for your business, but also how you're measuring what they're calling like your social impact. And
Okay.
so your social impact goes into the reasoning behind why you do what you do, where you do it, and who you're doing it for, and what they're saying about your business, doing business with you as a result. But also, if you could link it to a bigger cause, not only do you want, like a Sprinter van, but maybe it's one with less of a carbon footprint. So it could be an electric Sprinter van. It could be a hybrid. It could be,
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know, something
Yeah.
good for the
Yeah.
environment. Grants love stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did subscribe to your stuff, and I know I've been horrible about doing my homework, but I'm on it. Soon as I saw you on live, I went and sat down at my computer. I was like, "Oh Lord."
Yes. So go dive into the mentorship. There's a whole workshop in the program that you already have access to. And we spend a
Hmm.
whole session talking about your social impact. So you really need to dive into that replay of that workshop and it'll
Okay.
start to make sense. And as you know, being one of our mentees, you can always email me with any questions you have about what you're learning in the program.
Okay. 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 I got you.
You
I
got
got you.
any questions for me?
Um, no, I mean you gave me a lot, and I greatly appreciate it. And I actually, when you started talking, I started jotting down who, what, where, why, how, and I was like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you go say, and so I already had it. I was like, okay, now I need to fill in the who, what, where, why, how.
Yes, and there's a grant application strategy worksheet in the program. I added it.
Oh,
It's towards the bottom, but yeah, it's asking you these same questions. What do you do?
oh,
It's talking about even more in-depth details. So check it out. If you can't find it, just send me an email and I'll send you the link directly. Okay.
absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. What's your biggest takeaway from our chat?
Tell my story.
Tell your story. I can't wait to hear more. And speaking of story, it's a three-part storytelling class. And girl, you better go do your homework. All of
Yes,
that is already
ma'am.
in the mentorship. I
Yes,
love
ma'am.
it. Well, thank you for volunteering to get some coaching. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, girl.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Any questions about our quick coaching chat? This is like a featured part of our mentorship program over at blackwomeningrants.com. I just, whoever volunteers, I bring you on and we chat. Some of y'all just happen to already be in the mentorship. I would not have known unless Vitals confessed. She told her herself, but I was sure gonna go tell her to go join us. So she already over there. She ain't doing that homework yet, but she about to get on it. She about to get on it. So that is how we did our first chat with Katie. We talked about budgeting, having that budget ready, right? And then with Vitals, just pulling out your story, talking about your founder stories. So also in the mentorship, you're gonna see the book that I wrote for you guys called what y'all see on the screen here, kind of peeking through the comments. No, it's not in Black Women in Grants. It's in the Grant Game. That's what it's in. But it's teaching you how to play the game of grants, because there are winners and there are lessons to be learned. And the more attention you pay to why you haven't received a grant yet, or why they've ghosted you, why they rejected you, why you're maybe like getting discouraged, you're just probably missing one or two of the pieces of what we call the ASK formula, ASK. And that dives into like the 3 parts you want to absolutely make sure that's in every single one of your small business grant application answers, whether it's a written essay, whether it's video. I teach you what written essays should look like, how you're answering these questions, what stories to tell, and also how to pitch on video, what they're really looking for you to say in these videos. So all of that is in the mentorship that Vital is in. Alicia is in. Right, Alicia? You in there, right? I think you in there from a long time ago. I'll be forgetting. You know, we're getting old. I'm talking about you mostly, but that's over at blackwomeningrants.com. Blackwomeningrants.com. Okay, I didn't want to throw you in there if you want in there, but they'll be doing their homework, y'all. So y'all could come join us and probably finish the program before they do, because I don't know what they be doing. You join February 13th? Okay, now I know. It's in my brain. A day before Valentine's. That was a Saturday. No, that was a Thursday. Okay, I'm gonna remember that, because I remember I had a photo shoot the next day after Valentine's Day, and that's in my brain. So Elisa been in there almost 2 months, or hadn't February, March, April. She been in there over 2 months. Elisa, you been doing your homework? She spent more time. So I don't know. I be having to ask. I'm acting real funny, ain't I? What other questions y'all got for me? I'm about to go. My tea tastes horrible. I'm finna go check and make sure that milk ain't expired. Horrible. I'm finna go check and make sure that milk ain't expired. I'm over here gagging for real. Like, what did I do, Jesus? I think my milk is expired. I need to go to the grocery store. I did not check. You said yep and more, but oh, okay. Here come the excuses. Here we go. Anybody else got any questions about grants, like how to find them? Nobody's asked that today, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer it. You can find grants just looking on Google. You can literally go and type in small business grants and see what pops up. Ooh, what's today? April. Oh, yeah, it's like a week expired. That ain't too bad. It shouldn't be tasting like that. It ain't even real milk. Shouldn't even have no expiration date on there. Best Buy. Okay, my tea is good, but the milk ain't good. So that means I gotta try my other milk. Okay, good. I thought I done poisoned myself, Jesus. Okay. Anybody else want to put in the chat what you do in your business? That's all we're talking about. What you do in your business and what you could use a grant for. That's really all we're chatting about today. I just wanted to jump on. I've been off of my regular schedule, which I'm switching, by the way, Alicia. We're actually officially at the end of our 12 weeks. So nobody, absolutely nobody out of 100 plus of y'all that started out with us did what they're supposed to do to graduate. Therefore, we're about to go into our spring summer schedule, which means right now it ain't no schedule. It's whenever I hop on here and come hang out with y'all. So just make sure you follow the page so you can get your notifications. I'm officially off of a schedule right now. Got a lot going on over here. So there's that. What else do you guys do? Somebody else talk to me in the chat. Tell me about your business. What do you do in the business that you're currently seeking grants for. What do you do in that business? What do you do? Pull you up. Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me see how to do this. Everybody else was just sending invites, so I got to see how to. Hold on. Oh, there you go. Hello, my dear.
Hello, Professor.
Tell the people who you are. They don't know you. This crazy lady on TikTok yelling,
I'm the
Jason
teacher's.
P, what's the fact? Okay, tell them who you are.
I'm the class. Look, I'm the class jokester. Teacher,
Right, the jester, jokester,
teacher's
clown,
pet.
whatever.
Teacher's pet.
Oh Lord. Okay. Love it. You're like
Evangelist, I got
school
something
nurse.
to tell you.
Mhm.
Yes, I have been doing my homework and more. And the reason there's a but there is because I went to the class. I told you that there was a class in the Mobile Public Library here in Alabama that was giving a conference, a small little hour teaching conference on Foundation Directory, which is online. And basically, you can only get it if you're a member of the local libraries. All the information that I found was so interesting because the man who was teaching it brought up a lot of things. And we know that we have a lockdown on the nonprofits because of the Orange Aid that's up in Washington, D.C. right now. So, and I literally mean that because that I'm not a fan of a person that's trying to dictate this country. Um, I wind up getting tabs that were, each tab had at least 100 or more grants on each tab, and there were like 25 to 30 tabs. And it was so much, I needed a thumb drive to download this stuff. I could download the stuff, but I couldn't get on unless I was at the library. And I'm trying to see, because I have a membership, can I log on with my library membership? Long story short, I sat here and I looked at a lot of these grants that they had. And some of them were very familiar because I saw some that we have on our mentorship list.
Mhm.
And then, you have to do things, by their what in their application, and what they expect of you and what you have to submit, which is great. Crazy thing is, while I was at this class, my former boss, I didn't tell you, he was the one that put me onto this class. My former boss, who is now my boss again, he became my boss some 33 years ago when I was in college. He called me up and he said, EJ, he said, God made me call you. He said, I have been putting it off and putting it off because he said, I was trying to do it myself. Now, mind you, I will give you a little background. His name is Greg Cyprian. He came from Philadelphia into Mobile, Alabama around the mid to late 80s. This man stood 6'9" tall. He was one of the tallest men in all of Mobile. He was the director of operations at the Mobile Civic Center. He was the one bringing in all the acts, everything. Well, he had done so much for the city of Mobile, even created some foundations here where he was feeding the homeless, doing the summer lunch program, doing the kindergarten literacy program. And when I was in the school system, I was helping him do these things, undercover, because I don't like my name out there. Let me just do the work. Don't worry about giving. I don't look for accolades. I just want a person to be helped. Well, Greg got sick in 2020. And that was around the time we got COVID. He winds up getting COVID. His wife is a retired registered nurse, and he died on the table twice. And thank God he's here. But in the midst of him getting COVID and almost dying, both his legs were amputated. So he's been bedridden since 2020, but he has been working diligently from his computer and continues to have his newspaper out. He has a all black owned newspaper. It's called Steppin' Out, STEPPIN, out. And it is done through his foundation of Legacy 166. And Legacy 166 has something to do with Luke, first chapter, the 66th verse. So coming back to when he called me the other day, he said, EJ, God made me call you. He said, and I'm sorry I've been putting it off and off. He said, but he said, God has really put his foot on my chest. And I said, okay. He said, I need you to write for me. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, everything that you've been posting on Facebook for the last 7 years, he said, I have read. He said, I love your storytelling. He said, and then I saw your TikTok journal last night on Black History. I said, okay. He said, well, your TikTok journal got me to thinking. He said, and then when you put out about people that we don't think about, he said, and then you went into small details, making a small synopsis of their life. He said, it got me to thinking, I need somebody to write my Black History column in my paper. So I went, uh-oh. He goes, so I'm going to need you to do that. And he said, and I'm not going to take no for an answer. I said, Greg, I'm in the middle of class. He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, I've committed to this 36 lesson class for 12 weeks from Dr. Austin. He said, do I know her? I said, no, you don't know her. I said, but I can't stop doing what I'm doing. He said, well, what is the class about? Me and my big mouth. I said, well, she's teaching me how to write grants. I said, I'm learning lessons every other day from her. And then I'm in her mentorship. I said, I went on a scholarship on her mentorship. I said, and I don't like let nobody spend money like that. And I spend money like that and I'll not do the work. He said, you're writing grants. I said, I'm learning how to. He said, well, you should have been doing it anyway because of the way you write. I said, well, I'm learning a lot more. Now, mind you, I'm not giving him my secrets. And he said, okay, well, schedule me to talk to you in a day or two. Evangelist, this man calls me on Tuesday. He said, are you in class? I said, no, I told you my class is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. He said, okay, good. He said, be prepared to talk to me at 6:00 this evening. I'm like, okay. So he calls me at 6, a little after 6, and he said, sorry, I'm late. I was on a Zoom call. He said, okay, I'm going to send you something in your email. I need you to pull it up. This man gives me all of his information, his intent letter, EIN number, address, phone number, all of this stuff, and tells me to start filling out this thing. So he had me pull up a foundation, and I sat on there and I wrote everything he told me. And then he goes, I don't know. He said, I've been doing this. I said, Greg, let me ask you a question. How long have you been writing grants? He said, 10 years. I said, okay, then you don't need me. He goes, no, I do. He said, you don't understand. He said, you're writing. He said, the way you've been writing for the last 7 years. I said, I've been writing like this for 35 years. So he goes, that's enough for me. I need you to just help me with this. I for the last 4 days, Professor, I have written for his publication 2 grants and sitting here getting ready to write another one that have been submitted to huge corporations. And I'm sitting
Mm-hmm.
here going, I'll be doggone. So I said, Greg, I said, I'm going to have to step away for a moment. He said, wait, I need to tell you something. I'm going to get you some business cards made for my company. He said, because you're going to be my direct media of my obituary section, and you're going to do my Black History column, and you're also going to be the director of marketing. And I'm like, I didn't ask for this. He said, I need you to just do it. And I said, Greg, he said, EJ, I trust you. He said, my wife was thrilled to know that you were working for me again. He said, because he said, you babysat my daughter. You took care of my daughter. By the way, his daughter is one of the fast moving young production people in Mississippi for a news organization, a TV news organization there. And she's a Southern Mississippi graduate, a University of Southern Mississippi graduate. And she stands as tall as her dad. She's about 6'3", if I'm not mistaken. Nicole has grown. She's a tall, beautiful girl. And he said, my wife really, really is ecstatic that I have you back on my team. I said, but Greg, you didn't give me time to accept. Well, I don't have to, he said, because God said that you were going to work. You were going to help me. So I can't. So look, I prayed about that. I've got to pray about stuff. I prayed about that and I'm like, okay, God, let your will be done. That's all I can say. But the one thing that he did tell me to do is this. He told me, whoever this Dr. AJ Austin is, tell her thank you. And I'm like, okay, I will. He said, you don't even know what I'm thanking her for. I said, I'm waiting. He said, thank you for putting you to work. And I'm like, okay. He said, you still going to take her classes? I said, every chance I get when she's online. He said, well, maybe she needs to teach me a thing or two. I said, you're not a Black woman. So he started laughing. He said, well, maybe I could put Nicole on to. I said, bring Nicole on. I said, but I want to thank you for even believing in me. I really do. I said, because I never would. He said, I should have pulled you in years ago. He said, because you know too many people in this city. He said, you know too many people in Georgia. And I'm like, I said, Tennessee too, but I'm good. I said, I like to be behind the scenes. I don't like let everybody know what I do. But when people ask me what I do, I just look at them. I said, desktop publishing. And they said, what's that? I said, well, I'm a life insurance for the state at large for Alabama. I said, I'm a certified photographer. I have my associate's degree in theology. I said, I do it all. I love art. And whatever art it may be painting, it may be photography, it may be sculpture, it just may be writing. And I said, and writing is an art. That's a serious art to me. So I not only do I need to tell him what he told me to tell you, but I need to thank you because you have changed so many lives, including mine. I fuss too. My nana says I fuss too much, but I care. And people may see me just sit, and I have a reason to just observe what's around me, because you have to be careful what you say, because your actions will always speak louder than what your words will. And when people, you don't have to tell people that you're compassionate. You don't have to tell people what you do. Your word, that your work, the song says, may the work I've done speak for me. Your work is speaking for you, evangelist. And I need to let you know, do not let anyone dull your shine, because you have made it possible for a lot of women from being stuck in places where they thought they couldn't go. And I'm one of them. And I appreciate you and I love you from the bottom of my heart. I truly love you. And I thank you.
You get on my nerves. God, you ain't gonna have me out here snotting with you. Thank you for that beautiful story and that testimony. Don't blow your nose. You got some socks on your feet. Get you some tea. Get a cough.
I'm trying to, but if Vitals and Veins is still on here, Vitals and Veins LLC, I need to tell her something. When, not if, but when she gets that Sprinter, and she's gonna get it after she win her grants,
right?
she needs to make sure that she goes to an applicable dealership that she's going to put that Sprinter in her business name, because there is a tax bracket that she can go to that, and she needs to talk to somebody that knows this, because I've seen a lot of my friends do it. I just had a friend of mine buy a $68,000 Sprinter and had it custom made. It was at the time it was like 40 something thousand. No, I'm sorry. She paid 74,000 for it. And when she got it, it was like 40 something thousand, but she had to have it custom for the insides to be done a certain way. And that took almost $30,000. Well, some kind of there's a actual tax bracket that she can use in her business, where when she buys that, within a couple of months, maybe 3 months or so, if I'm not correct, I'm not corrected, she can go to her accountant. She can actually get up to 2/3 of her money back, because she bought it under her business and it's for her business purposes. So my girlfriend actually wound up getting about $38,000 back of her money when she bought that Sprinter.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are some tax things that a lot of people don't look into. And because when I go and research, I research a bunch of stuff. I really do. One other thing I need for you guys to know: be careful of Google. Be very careful of Google. Google has changed some narratives, and I even screenshotted some things that were put out there the beginning of the year in January after Orange A got in office. It was a new CBS News and NBC News had said that they were going to do away with fact checking on Google. And I thought to myself, they can't do that. But then again, I said, well, the CEO of Google and Facebook and Elon Musk and all of those tech guys were there, so they can do anything they want with their business. The other day when I was doing research, when I was at that conference, I pulled up something in Google that told me that Martin Luther King Jr. had died of heart failure on the 17th of April in 1990. So what I did was, I'm glad that I listened to a friend of mine a couple of years ago, and I'm more active to use it. There's a search engine called DuckDuckGo. It is very secure. It fact checks. It's amazing, and it will actually give you things without having to worry about certain ads interrupting certain apps and everything where you're looking at things. So I have traded in all of my computers, every laptop and every desktop that I have. DuckDuckGo is now my new search engine, and it's very safe. So just be wary of Google, because I even saw stuff where they were talking about the Emancipation Proclamation that was just canny, just stupid. And I'm like, okay, it's starting. It has already started. We just didn't know it.
I wonder how that impacts grants. Have you done your grant search on DuckDuckGo yet?
I'm getting ready to do that. I have actually I've been so busy looking at your site trying to make sure that I fulfill what I did. I've done, you know, uh I'm on my third grant for him, but I've done two grants and I told you that one came back because they said that I put any region when I should have chosen a region. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to do another one so that I can fulfill my class before it ends with you. But yeah, I know I'm not done because you'll still be getting on here and I'll still be, researching and searching. But um, I will go ahead and check. But I know it's going to be secure because with everything that I've done with DuckDuckGo now, I'm very surprised that I had not used it more than I should. I've found even I was even impressed with some of the things that Chat uh, GPT was doing um,
Mm-hmm.
on DuckDuckGo. Some in some cases it was actually better because I
Mm-hmm.
compared the two when I was doing it on Google and I was doing it on DuckDuckGo, and there is a small difference, and you can see it. It may be small, but you can see it.
Got
So
it.
and DuckDuckGo is very secure. I will not say if I see something, I have to see it for myself. And I'm so glad that Linda showed me because it's now that's the search engine. I've even told my nana. Yeah, I didn't tell you this, but I have my nana living with me until she gets her house renovated. But I even went in the bedroom and told her, I say, hey, start using DuckDuckGo. Stop using Google. And
Okay.
she converted her laptop into Google. And
Okay.
she converted her laptop into DuckDuckGo. I mean, and we're so adapt to Google because we've had it all the time. Because everybody, anytime we say something, we'll say, "Well, Google it." Go Google because we've had it all the time. Because everybody, anytime we say something, we'll say, "Well, Google it." Go Google it. Well, I can't
Yeah.
say that anymore. I really
Go,
can't.
go, go, go it. You can say that.
Yeah, exactly.
What's been like? Yeah, what have you like taken away from that so far?
Your books. I got to go and figure out how I'm going to go buy some ink because the grant game is not a problem. That's 20, 26, 28 pages. That was nothing.
Hmm.
But
Right.
finding funding, I'm almost looking at 200 pages?
No, it's like a
Well,
hundred
well,
and ish.
well,
I don't know.
okay. Okay. Well, the third book is going to be something to see too now.
Yeah, it's already in there. It's just y'all got
Yeah.
the unedited version. Now that one, yeah, we got okay
Yeah.
with this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so but and I know you gave us permission to download it and and
Hmm.
what I'm going to have to do is just thumb drive it, put a thumb drive in and just let it download on the thumb drive and just print it out when I get to the library because at least the pages are 10 cents a sheet. So,
That's true, but well, yeah, because it'll be mostly black and white except the cover, so you should be good on that. Some people go to
yeah, it'll be
Staples.
yeah because
Um,
I have a SPC discount because of my business. I have an SBC discount, and then it takes about
okay.
30 or 40% off of the copies at Office Depot, but that still ain't enough.
Whoa.
I'm still because Office Depot charges you 25 cents for black and white, 27 cents for black and white, and I
Oh
can go to the
wow.
public library and get it for 10 cents for black and white. Colored copies are 50 cents.
Well, and then take it and get it bound because that's a lot. Because that's what I had
Yes.
to do when I was editing Finding Funding. So that's how I know. Yeah, it could get up there, and you doing multiple books. I'm about to do the printed version of our latest one, Black Women in Grants. I was actually working with a graphic designer this past week, but they did not do a good job. So we're back to the drawing board. I got to find somebody else. Yeah, so that will be coming because so Ashley and Tay, who I always talk about, our top grant winners so far, they're
Hmm.
coming here to Atlanta next weekend. Actually, they're going to be graduating our mastermind. They've been working with me for 6 months now, and
Yes.
as my gift for their graduation, I helped them write a book. And so we're
Awesome.
we're doing a photo shoot with our books, and celebrating their graduation. And so yeah, we're all going through the whole we got our covers designed and get it uploaded so that people can have physical copies, because y'all have driven me between audiobooks and printing these books out. Y'all have drove me up the wall. So this next one
That's actually gonna. I'm speaking it into existence. That's gonna be the number one New York best time seller. So you've done the thing. Keep doing it. But my thing is, oh yeah, you need to email me. Please email me Ashley's information and let her know that I will be getting in touch with her, because for as far as her graduation is concerned, I'll go ahead and do that little thing we talked about, because I want to give her something that's gonna make her smile. Every time she
Okay,
thinks about her cousin.
let me actually I got to do that when I get off here. I'll send her a message and ask her
Yes.
which email she want me to share.
Okay.
And
We'll go from there, because I want to make sure she's
appreciate
okay.
you.
Yeah,
I just want you to know that I be fussing,
Just-
but I really do appreciate you. That's what I was bragging on y'all to somebody, and I was just saying how thankful I am that you guys are a community of Black women, and just we can't help but like take care of each other, share resources, look out for one another. And that's what this is about. And that's what's hard to put on a grant application. You can't explain Black girl magic to a grant. So
no, you can't.
I'm just grateful to have y'all as a part of that and get to witness it in my generation. Because I always heard about the village, the village. This is a part of our village. And I'm just thankful for y'all. So that's all. That's my little heartfelt moment. Not too much, though. Not too
So
much.
for those who are in the mentorship, I advise you to go and get your copies from the public library, because they're only look 10 cents a copy for black and whites, and it shouldn't be no more than about 50 cents for color copies. The only color copy I'm getting is the cover, but
Right.
the rest of it is black and white. That's the cheapest you can get. Download it on a thumb drive and take it to the library.
That's
And
a good
print it
idea.
out.
Okay, I'm gonna share that with more people who bring it up, because they do tell me they go to Staples, and I'm like, y'all, that's about $50 right there. Let me get y'all this $5 book.
Library is the way. I love my library downtown. We have like 7 libraries here in Mobile County, and my favorite one is downtown. I guess it's because the sweet old security guard down there, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Walter Thompson. I love that old man. He greets me with a hug every time I walk in the library.
You know everybody.
Well, the man who runs the security, the security for all the libraries, he used to be the head of security for our now retired district attorney, John Tyson. And I will tell you who John Tyson is. Do you remember the movie Kindergarten Cop? With Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, remember the guy who played the bad guy with the ponytail?
But it was like slick back.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's actually a friend of mine. His name is Richard Tyson. We grew up. He went to Murphy High School. I went to LaFleur. And Richard would come home every Christmas, and his dad, Big John Tyson, would make him get up under the house to cover the pipes, because we still had to cover pipes during the winter. But every time we got together, it was just a great time. And Tony would be there. Now, Tony has security all over the state of Alabama. He and his wife is one of the 100 best sales agents for Mary Kay. That woman has won 16 cars now.
Wow.
16 or 17 cars. She has gone to Austria to hear the boys choir a number of times, but she's second in command of the county, and we actually go to the fire range together.
That is so awesome. You know everybody. So I know who to call when I come to Alabama. That's what I hear. But I ain't gonna be there no time soon, so don't get no ideas.
I hook you up to the right hotel and the right restaurants, and of course there'll be Black-owned restaurants. My former co-worker she's on the school board now. She runs District 4. She owns a downtown restaurant called Kazula's, and it's named after the last after the Clotilda, the man who came off the Clotilda, Cudjoe Lewis. It's named after him, and his ancestors are all around right now. And my godbrother, Judge Finley, he is actually over the Africa Town project here in Mobile. So when they found the Clotilda, he jumped right in and got on the foundation, and they're building new homes and things like that. And there are actually people there writing grants for that.
I love it.
So,
Oh, Ashley just joined us too. Ashley,
hi,
Elicia's
Ashley.
Ashley, can you inbox Elicia your email address? I was telling her I was going to reach out to you and see if it was okay to share your information or which you wanted me to share. She has a gift for you, so
Yes, I do.
click on her name and y'all connect via inbox. That way y'all ain't waiting on me because I be slow. Elicia,
Yeah.
thank you for talking to me. I appreciate you, girl.
Welcome. You're
Thank
very
you for being
welcome.
a part of the community. And forward me the grants that you've applied to, because you know that's part of y'all graduation assignment. I think only Tiffany did it, of course, Dr. Tiff.
Okay, even the ones that I've done for Greg, even though I wrote them, but they're for his
Yeah,
business.
you have to. All I said was y'all had to apply. I didn't say you had to win.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the graduation qualifications. Then we can wrap up. Well, I've already wrapped up our regular meeting times. Y'all just didn't know it yet, but so I'm
Okay.
off. I'm done. I don't know what y'all doing. So yeah, send me that so I can count you as graduated. And
All right.
that's all. Thank you, girl.
You're very welcome. You take care, Evangelist, and we'll be seeing you by the day, every day, just about.
Okay, girl.
And put some
Bye.
socks on your foots.
Hush. Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. So I'm gonna give Elicia a shout out because she has been hanging in there. Y'all remember Hillman Talk, right? It's like TikTok does not remember. It's like it never even happened, Elicia. So about end of January when Hillman Talk kicked off and all the Black professors were doing their classes, and then the drama came, and then it just fell dead silent. So we went from having hundreds of people throughout the week join us to we might be down to 4. But Elicia has been the most consistent. She's been here every single time I've been live for our classes. She was our class counter. And we did about 36. I don't know if we hit that number exactly, but it was so much going on with TikTok. I never knew when they were going to take it away. Is it going to stay? But I realized, wait a minute, we said the end of April and here we are. And so I think we had a week or two left before it was officially 12 full out weeks. But I've taken this last week off just for mental health and because I'm ready to switch up that schedule. I get bored easy. So I got to do something different. And I'm glad that God has blessed me with the flexibility and the freedom to be able to do that. But just to see from week to week, you show up every time for these classes. Like you just deserve a shout out. So can we just congratulate Elicia for completing her 12 weeks? Because she been on here. Okay. If nobody else been on here, she been on here. So let's just tell her congratulations in the chat. And Elicia, I celebrate you. And of course, this ain't the end. Like you said, I'm on here till TikTok goes away. I don't know what they're doing with TikTok. I really don't care at this point. I ain't going back and forth. Like last time, they had me stressed out. So we just went on over to YouTube. That's where I'll be when or if TikTok goes away. Just look for Black Women in Grants over there. Child, same thing. Lives, chatting with y'all about grants. Hey, pretty honey bee. Where you been, girl? I know you said you were in a program. How's the program going? Did you wrap up yet? Let me know. Vitals is in Alabama too, and she said your unused pages roll over monthly. Is that what the library? I like how Alabama doing they print. I need to go talk to Atlanta Libraries Public Library System, APS. I think is what it is. Ashley Reagan. Hey girl, I can't wait to see y'all next weekend. Got me stressing out about what we gonna eat. At least we got options because it is on a Sunday. So, child, I'm just thankful for that. Pretty Honeybee just finished the Grant Accelerator program. Yeah. You won 50. Pretty Honeybee, send me a request. I'm finna invite you on here. You know. You already know. You done been on here live with me before. On the live. I'm finna send you an invitation. Y'all just be creeping back in here richer than the last time I seen you.
Hey.
No.
Yes,
Where you
ma'am.
been? And what you?
L-
$15,000?
Listen, I joined, the Hillman Talk thing happened like you were talking about. And it took me a little while because honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, Dr. AJ. I didn't have a job at the time, so I didn't know how I was going to invest. But I ran across some money and I purchased your package, the entry package that you had. So I did that, and I ended up applying for a startup business grant here in my local city. And when I tell you they turned me every which way but loose, what? Like, oh my God, it was so much. Like, it was crazy, but I learned a lot. I'm prepared for my business and everything. So it's really, really, I'm really, really grateful. But like, I had to pitch, I had to, basically do the application and really present myself to these people. And honestly, I used everything that I've learned from you and what I was able to grasp from your program to help me do that. So literally we just finished Wednesday was the award day, and I won 15K. They had three prizes. It was 20, 15, and 10. And I'm in the middle, and I'm grateful for the 15 because the lady that won the 20, she needs my business to make her business pop. So her money is technically halfway my money. So I am just hot. Girl, let me tell you something about a grant. This process was crazy, but it was worth it. I'm telling you, it really was. And I'm so thankful for you. It was divine that I ran across your page during the Hillman Talk era. And I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect for me. Blah 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 blah. Since then, I got a job and everything. So it's like, Chad, I thank you. I'm so thankful. I am so thankful for you. Even though I haven't been present, I just didn't have the time really because I was putting a lot into, the accelerated program. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Pretty, honey. I'm just speechless. Cause that's how y'all be doing. Y'all go win this money. I don't be hearing nothing. You over there fighting for your life. I ain't heard nothing. You could have emailed me or something. Like,
Listen, I mean, I had to make a business plan. And I mean, it was far. It was far. And
what?
I was thinking about reaching out, but I was like, I ain't about to wear this lady to death about this. I knew she had other people. I just ain't want to do it. I just didn't. I
Girl,
was
but
like,
I'm nosy. I be wanting to know what y'all learning, what they say, what the program, what they teach. Girl, I would have had questions, honey.
oh my
Wow.
God.
So
It was
are
really,
you thankful for it though? Like, are you glad you went
yes.
through it?
Oh
Okay.
my God. I'm so thankful. Even if I didn't win, I would have all the tools that I needed to present my business elsewhere. You know what I mean? Because I had to make a business plan and a financial plan, like a financial projection thingy. So I would have everything that I need. You know what I'm saying? And then plus everything I learned about pitching and from you and indulging everything in your curriculum that you have, that is even more better. You know what I mean? So I'm super 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 thankful. It was worth it, honestly. The sleepless nights, the I was falling asleep at work. It was terrible. It was terrible.
Now, how did you find out about the accelerator?
So my city actually offers it every year. I think this is like the seventh time they've done it. And
Mhm.
I had recently, I went through a lot before I moved back here. So I moved back home and I'm like, let me just get this a try and just see what's going on. And I just kind of like applied for it. So it's kind of like in my favor because, I was aware of it. It's local, that type of thing. But I learned so much about like social impact from you, letting me know how I'm supposed to, kind of like pitch my business to them, show them how they need me to make them look good, and just all the things.
Right.
Really. So I honed in on that so much, and I really told a story, and it honestly helped me change like the basics of my business because it's like a commercial kitchen, but I'm adding a piece where I help people that are working from or selling plates or something like that from home. They can come in and then
Ooh.
I scale their business. I help them. I take them through a whole like a incubator type of thing. So just talking to you helped me like make that. I got a partnership with the local food bank here. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Girl, do we? I think we need to set up a interview call with you because I need more details. You just like you trying to sum up the last 10 weeks, and we need a play-by-play. I am no Z. I want the scoop. You've been pitching. That won $15,000. Now, what you doing with the 15K? How you gonna spend it?
So I think what I'm gonna be doing is so I got a partnership with the food bank. So that's where I'm gonna start because they have a commercial kitchen and this is just my personal, situation. They have a commercial kitchen, but no one's using it. They don't have anyone to spearhead the program. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna go in there. So it's like certain things that they need. Like it's like I'm gonna be a subsidiary for the food bank. So I'm gonna like bring some equipment in, like storage cabinets. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have like additional equipment that I need. Like as far as like the allocation is concerned. I'm gonna be investing in marketing, reinvesting in these people that's going to be coming in. I might even sponsor somebody and take them through the whole process versus them having to pay. I might take them through the process where I'll get the licensings and everything for them. Um, I'm going to do some fundraisers with the money as well so that it'll bring in more money. So it's going to be some investment as well. So.
Girl, I am so proud of you. I remember you were on the live and we were talking through your social impact. That part about bringing in the people who make plates and stuff. I love that. That wasn't in our last chat. I like
Mm-mm.
it.
It wasn't so like like I always try to explain it like, hey, you got an aunt or a cousin that cooks and they be selling plates and they ain't supposed to be doing it for real because they don't even have what is it serve safe. They not licensed. They can't do that, but we be doing it because I've done it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to bring them in and really give them an opportunity to turn themselves from a food hobbyist to a food entrepreneur and give them a space. I'm gonna have DoorDash set up so like in the kitchen you making plates that people can order and you can DoorDash it to them. It's the whole nine. It's a whole big old. I'm still looking for grants though now,
Right. But
but
I
I'm
like that because
back
that's
in it.
like a ghost kitchen type concept.
Yes, like a ghost kitchen.
Yeah.
Ghost kitchen, commissary kitchen, but also with a education piece or a business consultant piece, really, to it.
Right. And
Exactly.
you'll have to please forward me the name of the grant. I would love to feature you in our newsletter. It's actually one scheduled to go out tomorrow, but we feature our
Sure.
grant winners, as you probably know if you get in our emails.
Yes.
But yeah, you can be one of our latest ones because that's how y'all do. Y'all trickle in and tell me little by little, and I'm like, girl, where you been? I
Yeah.
am winning money. I love it. Congratulations again.
Thank
Um,
you.
what else do you need? What access to resources or help
Um,
do you think you need at this stage?
I feel like where I'm at, I want to, of course, find more grants that are like culinary based, I guess. Um,
Mm,
Basically that's where I'm at with it. Of course, I want to do um women and black, that makes all the more, if I can find something that shows that hey, this is a minority, she's a black woman, she has a business, blah blah blah. But um I feel like personally, just with my research, that I can get a lot more bang for my buck if I go directly with the field, like um the actual aspect of what my business is. And a lot of times the city has to apply for me. So it is just, I think right now what I need, one, more grants, and then probably more exposure to pitching my business, more exposure to like other opportunities where I can get my brand noticed by people. I guess that's the
Mm-hmm.
best thing to say. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And
So did you? Oh, go
planning
ahead.
like fundraiser planning and organization, business structure. I'm working on it. I'm really far in it, but of course, I would love an extra pair of eyes. I would love someone that is well versed in like community events and fundraisers, like that type of resource. That's what I need.
Got it. Okay, I'm making a note. And did you finish the entire mentorship program?
It would. I was trying. I'm not. I didn't
No, just
get
let me
all
know.
the
You
way.
ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Look,
Go
I
ahead.
didn't get all the way through it because I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know I was gonna get into the program. So it was like I was smack dab in the middle, and they reached out and they was like, "Hey, we're excited about this. We need to get this going." And as soon as they were like, "Look, um, come in and have a meeting with us." And so I met with them in the food bank before the program even started. So I was kind of like already, in the process of like trying to figure out what my business was. So at that point, I didn't have any time to really do anything else but focus on that, making sure I like kind of got all the knowledge from them because they brought somebody in from I think it's called the SBCD, and they
Mm-hmm.
taught the classes for us because it was like, yeah, it was
Wow.
heavy. I'm
What was your
laughing now,
biggest
but I was
takeaway?
crying then.
Right. Because you was quiet. And I was like,
I
okay
went
now.
silent.
Right.
I went silent.
What was like your biggest takeaway from the accelerator? Like that made you happy that you did it.
Um, I would say really understanding the aspect of having a business is not just about um running a business. You have to have projections. You have to know numbers. You have to be organized. And if I didn't learn anything else, it probably was if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Like you have to have a plan and it has to make sense. And sometimes if it doesn't make sense, you can do like an optimized plan. You know what I'm saying? It's other options. Like don't give up on just because something is not working now. You can start smaller and work to something bigger. I think that was my biggest takeaway.
I love it. And you just proved because I talk about this a lot. So the most frequently asked question, one of them that we get a lot is how long does it take to win a grant? So I got my answer, but I want to ask you how would you sum that up from you finding out about this accelerator, you completing it, you pitching, and you won your first $15,000. How long would you say it took you?
Maybe 8 weeks. If
There you
I
go.
think it's about 8 weeks. And that's just because again, it was a lot of information that had to be taken in. I had to make I had to put a lot into it, but I want to
Wow.
say about 8 weeks.
So the program itself was 8 weeks too, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So from the time you found the program, you applied, you pitched, you completed the program, you won your first 15K. It was about an 8 week
I'll say
process.
12. Let me just say 12 with that. I'm gonna say 12 because I believe.
Uh-oh. I think TikTok might be trying to take us out. Hold on. Excuse me. Okay. Pretty honeybee, can you hear us? Sometimes it'll mute the call.
Can you
Okay,
hear
there you
me?
go. Yes.
Okay. I applied January like 10th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
pitch
drinking my tea, Alicia. Hush now.
I think the
Yeah.
pitch was like April 6th. No, the award show was like April 16th. Now, I
Okay.
applied, but the program didn't start till like February something. And then we had inclement weather, so we had to push it a week back.
Oh.
It was like February 20th something.
Hmm. because my answer is always about 90 days, which is what you're agreeing with as well. So, because I'm
Right.
going by the time y'all met me, like you said, in the Hillman Talk era, end of
Right.
January,
Right.
and then you applied around that time for the accelerator, got in, went through the program, and won, and you're back today. Just as we're wrapping, we ain't even. I think I was just saying we're in like week 10 or 11, but we're gonna, call it what it is, because whoever applied and won something or applied and sent me their applications, that's who qualified for the graduations. Um, but yeah, it was like a 12-week process. So that's what I give people on average, and you're like our living proof today that it's about a 90-day process for those who were wondering, like, how long does it take? And while everybody's number will be different, you're showing the example of when you have structured mentorship, then you join an accelerator with more structure.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 12-week process
Mm-hmm.
that would have took so much longer if you would have been trying to do this on your own, right? Or trying to find that 15K
Oh,
outside of this opportunity.
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Girl, I probably wouldn't even have placed if it wasn't for I'm serious. I don't think I would have placed because it was just so many intricate details and tools and the interviews and the pitches that you will allow us to, view once we join the membership, have the membership. It's
Mhm.
vital because you can see an example and you can, I mean, of course you can't go word for word, but you can take jewels and build your own type of flow from it. Now I was nervous now.
Right. That's what I was gonna ask, like how it felt, like that moment
I
being
thought
on
I was
stage.
gonna pass out. I
Did
was in
you?
stars. Look, at the end of my pitch, they want you to stand on for questions, y'all. Like I ran across, like trying to grab my poster to go. They was like, no, no, stay for questions. I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. I'm so sorry. I was so nervous, y'all. Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. So, and I mean, we know you were nervous, but then when they called your name, what's that
Mm-hmm.
feeling?
It was amazing. Like I felt like I was in a daze because it was like we had like a business expo. So the people that I was in competition with were there. You make bonds during that time. People from the city is there. So it's a very like public announcement. So I felt like I was in a daze. Like my sister was crying. It was crazy.
Yeah. And this just happened this past week.
It literally Wednesday.
Oh my gosh. Did y'all take pictures and stuff?
I took a few, girl. I was looking terrible. So I was just like,
I need to see the award picture. Did y'all get the big
oh.
jumbo checks?
Yeah, I'll send you. Yep, I got a jumbo check too.
Oh, I love that's my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
Please send me pictures. I would love to add you to our what we call in the Grant Game Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Everybody's standing with their checks. They got gift cards. They got it's all kind of pictures on our website at this point. But yeah, I want to add you to that and celebrate. So send me the picture and then send me the name of the grant. And I know you said it was 15K. I was just girl, I'm floating with you. I know you still on cloud nine. That lasts a while, by the way. So enjoy that, okay? Bask in
I will.
that feeling. Yeah. So if somebody is just finding us like you did 10, 11, 12 weeks ago, and they want to be where you are today, winning grants, pitching live, probably something you didn't even think you were gonna be doing. What would you
Mm-mm.
tell them if they're like, okay, how can I do that?
I would say to do it uncomfortable, do it scared, do it worried. Just put your best foot forward and keep going regardless. And regardless of how it ends, you're going to learn something in this process. You're going to discover something about yourself. I just want to encourage you to keep going. Don't give up. You know, be happy for others too. You have to be happy for others and be grateful for the opportunity that you're in.
Yes. And what would you tell them about joining the Grant Game Mentorship Program?
If you don't get that lady that money and get those resources, you gonna know some. Really get, really invest. Honestly, investing in other people sometimes is a turnaround, an investment in yourself. And like I said, that money I gave, I didn't have it for real. I didn't have it to give. I ran across $100, and I'm like, that's when she was doing the sponsorships. I was like, I'm gonna just do it. And God, you put your hands on this
Mm.
and look at it. Look at where we are now. It's worth
So
it.
you made a $97 investment with
A
us in our
seed. I sowed a
mentorship.
seed, girl.
Sold a seed, got a 15,000% harvest.
Hmm. Hmm.
Was it worth it, girl?
Absolutely. It was worth it. It was super, super worth it. And I'm so thankful for you. And I wish I could have been more involved, but girl, I tell you, it turned me every which way but loose. I wish I could have been more involved and letting you know what I had going on. It's a little different from just doing a grant where you send an application off and it consumes you. I had a meeting every week and I had homework to do and I had this to do and that to do, so it was a lot. Um, but it is most definitely worth it. It was worth it.
I understand because it is a new world and you're learning and you want to be, like you say, engaged and attentive. I was just here to escort y'all in. That's why we started off our first few weeks of go look for these opportunities. Because if you at
Mhm.
least got something in mind that you want to apply for, everything I'm sharing over the next few weeks, you're golden if you just follow what I'm teaching. And then the fact that you just leapt and took a leap of faith and trusted God and sold that $100 into your future of like, let me see if this works. I'm gonna just trust the process. I ain't got no job. I got this extra. Let me sow. And you went through the program. Now the program, we have the replay, so you can always go back and watch the replays of all what you quote unquote missed. Some of them was
Mhm.
really, really good, but for the most part, it's just me and Alicia arguing about me drinking tea and putting on socks. But you got access to all the replays, so no worries about that. What you quote unquote missed, it's just going to add to what you already have access in the mentorship, and then you still have access to me via email about your future grant journey. I'm just glad y'all come back and tell me because other than that, I wouldn't know. And grants that award us as Black women in grants, they're like, well, how much have your women won? And I'm like, well, the last one I talked to back in 19, y'all be MIA over here with this money. Just come back home and tell me something and then go back and win some. So I'm just glad to hear your voice again and hear that you won and that you like put the information into action, because it's
Mhm.
one thing to join us and just listen, or like some people say, I'm just here to get information, meaning they may or may not do anything with it. But to hear that you actually follow through, like your excuse for not being here is forgiven. Okay. Don't
Thank
be hard
you.
on yourself. I understand you had to switch us for them. Hey, they got the funding that I'm teaching you to go get. So you are like a living, breathing testimonial. And I just say thank you for coming to share the success and letting us celebrate with you. That's what this is about.
Absolutely. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. It's been an amazing journey.
I want to try something new real quick. Does anyone have any questions for our grant winner here? Questions for our grant winner here. By the way, I never said officially introduce yourself. So officially introduce yourself and tell them about your business. I already know. I just jumped right into the conversation. Go ahead.
So my name is Brittany. I live in Virginia. Pretty Honeybee is my alias up here anyway. But just a little bit about my business. I am it's called the Honeycomb. And it's basically a commercial kitchen for people who may have food trucks or people who may already have a food business that maybe want to scale back or anything. But mostly what my vision is to have individual pods for people to rent out so that they can have their culinary experience there. Also have food integration delivery implanted in that as well. But also the key component to it is the business scaling, basically a business consultant for a um, a culinary hobbyist. The story is I personally had a charcuterie business in the last city I lived in, but I personally had a charcuterie business in the last city I lived in, but I was doing it out of my house. I was trying to figure out how to get into a kitchen. I was calling down to the health department, calling the agriculture department, and I was getting a runaround. I even small women and business or something like that, where they set you up with the mentor, and the mentor was like, based off the money that you're making, you should just keep selling out your house, which is absolutely illegal. So I kind of like scaled back, went through life changes and stuff. Scaled back, went through life changes and stuff like that. Still sold charcuterie on the side, but I never was able to get into a kitchen. I didn't have anybody to really hold my hand while I watched others succeed. I didn't know what to do. So I kind of wanted to put my foot forward to help somebody else. I'm not like the gatekeeper type of person. Like, if I can do anything to help you, I'm going to stick my neck out there and give you that information. It's just at this point, I'm just doing it in a business officially. So that's me, what I got going on.
And we met.
Yeah. Oh, I'm I joined through Hillman Talk. I was scrolling one day and I saw her up here. I'm like, okay, this looked interesting. It was during the Hillman Talk era, and I met Dr. AJ back in probably like early January, late December, or something like that. I actually came on live with her before to ask some questions and to kind of get a feel for what I was doing and stuff like that. We chopped it up a little while, and like she said, I was honestly here all the time. But then it came to an abrupt stop because I joined this accelerator program that's offered in my city. And then at that point, I went through that process, moved forward with that. I had to come up with a business plan, financial projection, and pitch. And I won 15K. Thanks to all of the things that I've learned from Dr. AJ and her program. Now, like I said again, I'm going to reiterate. I was not employed at the time that this happened, and I really didn't have no money. Like, I moved back home. That's just what my situation was, and I ran across some money, and I sowed a seed, and this is harvest time, and I won 15K, and I'm so thankful.
Yes. Oh my gosh, girl. So if you could, because I see, when you came on the first time, you were on video, and I was talking to you. You were writing, and I could see like you processing the thoughts of us talking through like your social impact and your business idea. So if you could talk to that same lady that was on the live that day, like what would you say to her? Because I don't even know if you knew how possible it was, but you were at least open to the idea. But what would you say to her?
Oh my God. I would do a lot of encouraging. I would let her know that I'm sorry because my nephew's here, so there's a lot of background noise. Hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, baby. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna come in there. I know it, baby. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, y'all. But look, we got a carnival here. My nephew just came back from the carnival, so he is so excited to show me his stuff. But I would do a lot of encouraging, letting her know that all things work together for the good of those, who love the Lord. And sowing the seed and really trusting in God, I would really pour into her spiritually more so than anything. Letting her know that, you got to put in the work. You just don't get good things. You have to put in work, and just know that you got this because God is good, not by your works. So
I love it. And I can't wait to hear what next grant you apply to and win. So please share your picture, share the details of the grant. I'll feature you on the website and in our upcoming newsletter. Any final words you want to share? I know you got to get back to the family. I want to hold you up. Nephew sound real excited.
Yeah, I would definitely just tell you guys to keep faith in God, number one, but make sure you invest in yourself, trust yourself, and give it an honest attempt. Definitely give it an honest attempt, and don't be discouraged. Like, no matter what happens with the grant process, like, don't get discouraged. Like, it's a process, for instance, you might apply for a grant that's $1,000, you might not get it, but you could have applied for a grant that's $10,000. You forgot all about it, and you get that. You know what I mean? So certain things aren't for you because blessings, they have who are they assigned to. Your blessing might just be a little bit further down the road. So just don't give up.
And a little bit bigger. I love it.
Yeah.
Because would you, outside of that program, would you have even went for like a $15,000 grant?
I don't think so. I think I was doing like my other grants that I applied for, probably like $1,000. Like micro grants and stuff like that. I ain't heard nothing from them. I don't need them right now, but
Yeah.
you know.
Because you a $15,000 heir. Okay, so hey. Well, congratulations again. Listen, okay? You'll be hearing from me. Just know that, okay?
Yeah.
I am just so proud, and I'm proud because you are the proof. And I just want you to take that as encouragement. Like there's someone on this live for the first time today, just like you were, and you're proof that it can be done. People think I just be talking and making up stuff. I'm like, no, this is really happening in 90 days,
Yeah.
So thank you for trusting God and allowing him to help you persevere through the program, because I know some of those programs ain't no joke. And then coming back, like for some reason I feel like this is a family reunion. Y'all coming on here crying, Alicia crying, you showing up talking about you won, we helping people. Girl, it validates the work, and y'all show me that my work is not in vain. And we're continuing to help build the kingdom and share ministry. This is inspiring somebody else. So I appreciate y'all for coming back around and just not forgetting us.
Absolutely. We cannot forget you, Dr. AJ. Okay.
Girl, well, it's been a pleasure to talk to a grant winner. Oh my God. We're talking to a celebrity, y'all. Everybody say congratulations in the chat. Thank you, Miss Pretty Honeybee.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you later, girl.
All right. Bye-bye.
All righty. Bye-bye. Y'all. Oh my gosh. Lord have mercy. This is so, listen, I needed this. God, see, this is so, listen, I needed this. God knew I needed to hear this, especially if they about to take TikTok again. Because this happened last time too. I don't know if y'all remember, but when they was about to take TikTok away, our grant winners showed up, our OGs that's been missing for a minute. It was like a homecoming. We had to have homecoming before everybody went away. So I don't know what's going on in the spiritual realm, but God be knowing what his daughters need, don't he? So thank y'all for your testimonials, and ain't nothing like hearing about this work is working and how it's helped. Like it's also proving what I say a lot, because sometimes I get, what about the men and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, y'all, it's not that we're excluding anybody. It's just inclusive of Black women. This is our safe space to talk about money, to talk about business, to be the community that we need. Because one thing I can promise you is that we're going to come back and get our people. So Alicia shared how she's now helping a man. We didn't have to teach. Like she said, she told him, you ain't no Black woman. So she like, let me go get the information because I'm coming back to help my people. This is what this is about. And then to know that Pretty Honeybee's Honeycomb is going to be helping our little street vendors, we're going to call them. Everybody had the candy ladies and the ladies selling plates at the church and fish fries for funerals. They have an official place to go to get help by now a professionally trained grant winner, small business pitch competition winner, Alicia, Pretty Honey B. Like, y'all, this stuff matters. I was looking at a loan application the other day, because now we're coming into the space of what's known as CDFIs. If you never heard of them, look them up, but they're more friendly towards entrepreneurs, lending them money. So I'm seeing what our lending options are. And so it's not like a traditional bank loan, but one of their questions, and it's a super long application, but they're asking, have you gone through professional training and development for your business idea? So when y'all complete these types of programs, like the Grant Game Mentorship that's over at blackwomeningrants.com, that's my mentorship program. It's a 24-hour course, has 24 hours of content. You get a year's access to the content which is why you can take a break, go let life, go win some grants and come back. That's how you're winning. It's a professionally, my degree is actually in training and development. It's specifically for online adult learners. And so this is that safe space to come learn what you need to learn professionally, go out and win this money, and then get into these other business training and development programs like accelerators and incubators for your business idea, where you sit with more coaches and trainers and advisors and mentors. And now you have this professional document that clearly defines who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and why you really do it, and why the grants need to give you funding. Loans are like, tell us about that process, because now it shows that you took your business idea so seriously that you were willing to invest your time, your money, your attention, and your efforts in making this idea scalable, meaning you put it on paper and you wrote out how it can grow and the vision you have, and we can get behind that. So from loans to grants, you can prove that you've invested in yourself, in your idea for making this work, and that people need it. So, y'all, this stuff works. Vital said, I need to stop playing with this homework. Get it done. Listen, I don't know. I feel like y'all think I just be out here like talking and just to sell you something. I believe in every time I go through my program, I'm like, this is a good program. But I told one of my coaches, I can't be the only one saying that. And my coaches are frustrated with me. One has threatened to not work with me no more if I don't charge y'all more money, go up on the price. I went up a little bit. We scooched it up a little bit, but I had to promise that I would only help a certain amount of people at this amount. Like, they were so frustrated. And I was like, no, I'm going to test this. I need more people saying that what I'm teaching them is actually working. And so we have now over 600 ladies in our mentorship program over at blackwomenandgrants.com, testing and proving the idea. Now, we've been in testing for 3 years. Don't tell my coaches, but they think I'm new. I'm even working with a new mentor, and I won't tell her all the details. I'm like, I can't give you too much, because it's gonna blow you away. Not only how much we're winning now with Pretty Honey Bees, when we're at, I just wrote it down because I knew I was gonna forget. Hold on, let me look at my notes. So when I got on here with y'all, I had 12 conversations like the one me and Pretty Honey Bee just had. She's number 13. She coming in with $15,000 win. We were at $300,160 in wins so far. Now we're at $315,160 between 13 Black women for-profit small businesses that have won everything from small business grants, pitch competitions, giveaways, contests, bursaries, prizes, you name it, they've won it. And that's what's factored into. These are grants and cash prizes, in-kind donation, all of that is factored into that number. I knew before the end of this year we would be at $500,000 in wins. We're going to be there before December 31st, 2025. Trust and believe. I just know for a fact. So I'm thankful that TikTok is still around and y'all still have access to me. Lately I've been on a break. I don't know. I just been like, whatever. And I ain't really been coming on live as much as I have been in the past. Nothing's changed. I still have the passion to teach. But I was like, let me take a break. Let me see if I'll be missed. Okay, I got a couple emails. I had some choice words shared with me. Like, where you been? I'm looking for you at 6 o'clock. Girl, I was literally out shopping and eating somewhere at 6 o'clock. So now it's my time to reap the harvest. I want to sit back and hear about y'all's wins because I've done my work. I've written 3 books. Got 600 people in the program. More of you guys are welcome to come join us. It's over at blackwomenandgrants.com. The price went from $97 to $147. That's one payment to come join us for a year. And we got some great things coming. So I need to take, a little time and get myself together as y'all getting y'all stuff together out here winning this money because we got more on the horizon. So y'all better be ready. And Human Talk was fun. I thank God for that. Like, I do very well with trends for Black people. So anything to bring us together as a community, I'm jumping on the bandwagon because I'm like, I got something to say. I got some resources to share that's gonna help some people. And while I knew that, like I said, I'm out winning the money. I've won over $1 million in grants and grant funded opportunities. It's fun, it's cute. I turned down some opportunities now. I'm thankful for that. But I love passing them on to you guys and paying it forward. And so to know that 10 weeks into a 12-week process, my formula has once again been proven that God is good. And he's able to do exceedingly abundantly and above all we could ever. Hey, don't get me started out here. Tomorrow he rose. Don't play with us. It's Easter Sunday tomorrow. So this was a great celebration. I don't know about y'all, but I needed this. I hope y'all were encouraged by the testimonials and the stories. I'm full. I'm good. I'm good. Vital say I'm next. Yes, for that win. Let's go. We got more to add. I sent out an email last week, but like I said, y'all be winning and disappearing. But I'll be like, anybody want a grant they want to tell me about? Because I know y'all out here winning. Everybody ain't doing the work. I understand that. But child, those of you who are, y'all deserve all the wins that's coming to you. And I love Pretty Honey B's stance of like, I was applying for 1,000, but I done won 15,000. I ain't hear nothing back for them. Forget them. Let's move on. So that confidence, that's literally what I tell y'all. My goal is to let you build your confidence in applying for these grants, no matter how much they are. But once you win, they can't tell you nothing. And I know that feeling, and it lasts. So bask in it, enjoy it. It's very inspiring. It's a drug. I don't tell y'all that. It's very addictive. Ashley was on here. She can tell you. We've been talking about this addiction because she's graduating next week. And she's like, what I'm going to do? I'm like, girl, that's withdrawal. We're going to just announce it, okay? Let's find you something else to go with. So I love that for y'all. This is just amazing. Not you singing. He's not. Don't start it, Lacia. These people finna show out tomorrow. Them CME Saints is gonna be front row with their suits on. Yes. What was y'all's aha moment from today? I know we've been on here a minute, longer than I planned. I was just jumping on here to play around. It's been 2 hours messing with y'all. Lord have mercy. God is so good. I am not complaining. Plus, I'm making up for lost time because I ain't been on here. But we'll be back. So make sure y'all follow this page. Turn your notifications on. I can't wait to announce our new numbers. I'm gonna just sit and smile for a little bit. My cheeks already hurt. Been smiling for 2 straight hours. Crying with Alicia. I'm gonna keep bringing that up. Have me out here being emotional. We are gangsters. We grant gangsters. We do not be crying. I love it. Girl, yes, we gotta keep pushing. This is just, I don't know. Y'all pay y'all tithes off them grants too. Pretty Honey B. Give the Lord something now. That's between you and Jesus. I'll be making sure I did that with my first grant win. Here go 10%, Jesus. I'm gonna go sow this real quick. You ain't finna say I ain't grateful. Pay them tithes, pay them taxes. Talk to your accountant before it's y'all gone, okay? We got to do right so we can keep winning. Keep that harvest, that seed in the ground. That's all I got, y'all. My, when you smile and your head gets sore in the back, my head is sore. I can't stop smiling. Just from hearing from y'all, hearing about your wins. That's all I got. Mentees, if y'all need me, you know where to find me. Via email, inbox, etc. If you're not in the Grant Game Mentorship Program, head over to blackwomeningrants.com, claim that scholarship price like Pretty Honey Bee was talking about. It is now $147. We got Klarna, we got Afterpay, and we got Affirm if you need them. Those are our payment arrangement options. If a 2-hour live didn't inspire you, hearing people winning and applying and lives being changed and a community being built and others being helped, I'm going to just tell Jesus to meet you late in the midnight hour once he rise. Because we don't know what time it was, dude, when he rose. When he get up, I'm going to ask that he knock on your door. The door of your heart and come talk to you. Let me holler at you, player. Just like that. So, that's all I got, y'all. It is almost 9 o'clock here. I did not realize that. I done ate and got full. Thought I was gonna get out and go for a drive. I am not leaving my house after dark. I was a street light girl. No, I wasn't a street light girl. I was a before dark girl. I heard about the street light girls. Forget a street light. I had to be home before dark, and that plays around when the summer, when the time zones change. So I'm in the house like an old lady. At midnight, Heroes at midnight. You sure it was midnight our time or yours? Was we on like East Coast, West Coast time then? That's what I need. Those are the questions I got when I get to heaven. God, who time zone was we on when you rose up? So anyway, y'all be in church in the morning. Pray for Black women in grants. And I'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a phenomenal night. Oh, make sure you follow this page. I know I said that, but follow this page. We're Black Women in Grants with over 83,000 of you guys here. So make sure you're on the right page. And then head over to blackwomeningrants.com. Claim your scholarship seat. They are available on a first come, first serve basis. Don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say we ain't had that conversation. Y'all have a don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say we ain't had that conversation. Y'all have a phenomenal rest of your night. And I'll see y'all soon. God bless. Bye, y'all.